Hey there. Okay, so here's my speech, and if I knew what we were really doing, I expected to do like a real video with like cuts and different camera angles and different cuts and editing effects and stuff like that. I didn't understand really what we were doing. So I'm very sorry for my procrastination, but now this is very rushed and it's a little like, I'm sorry for what I'm wearing. But I'll just get right into it. I apologize for my procrastination and my lack of professionalism. But here we go. I still think I got a good script. Okay, let's go for it. Okay. Hey there, my name is Jonathan Taylor, and my dream is to find a career that will allow me to maintain middle class status into the 2030s. That's my goal. Including living inside, working towards a livable wage. I don't want to get greedy. I'm willing to work towards a livable wage. I don't expect that starting out, but I'm willing to work towards that, and at least eating enough to call it sustenance. But truly, is that enough? No, I do still want more out of life. Most importantly, I want to find a career that allows me to have some impact in this world. However trivial, however small, however, just one iota is enough. A turning point that allows me to have lived my life for us rather than just for me. And for me, I think the method is journalism. And we all know what journalism has become, this monster of clickbaity, shareable nonsense that's loud, outrageous, and in your face. Today's journalism is a fight to get the consumer to read your news. Getting the consumer to pick your news has become journalism. But what people want to hear is not journalism. It's the opposite. Journalism is getting the information people need to the people who need it. That's journalism. And luckily for me, I just read a book that you made me read, that's teaching me 5 strategies to help me become the journalist I dream of being. Or help anyone doing anything if you want to. This would work for you. And here's the strategies. Number 1, renounce. This is my expression of grit. When you got a dream, people are going to tell you that you can't do it. You can't, and you probably can't, but sometimes you can. There's got to be at least one that you can do. The book talks about this guy receiving rejection letters after rejection letters, and now he is the author of 2 novels. He kept going, he kept trying, and he says the trick was to keep practicing. Even in the face of all that defeat, keep practicing, keep trying. Even at rejection letter after you have to get 5 rejection letters to get 1 acceptance letter, go for it. After that is pounce. Asking questions. Pouncing is asking questions. If I'm going to give people information, I have to have information. In today's world, everyone is nervous to put themselves out there. But to succeed, I need to get out there and ask questions. Hey, Mr. Store Guy, guy with a store, you're selling this for this amount of money, but how much did you pay for that? You're allowed to ask these questions. Hey, Coca-Cola, what are you putting in the Coca-Cola? Excuse me for 1 second. And what I wrote was, what are you putting in this weird elixir? Which is better. That's better. I had to turn the page, though. It's hard, but somebody has to ask these people these questions. The next strategy is trounce. Described in the book they made us read as wire to wire. Not just winning, but winning the whole time. Excellence. If I'm putting effort into my craft, I should be putting in enough effort to be excellent. Practice every day. Every day I wake up and ask the hard-hitting questions. I ask all of the hard-hitting questions others are afraid to ask, and I ask them to myself in the mirror. That's practicing. I go to the mirror, I ask all of those hard-hitting questions in the mirror to myself. Why are you doing this? You know, you got to practice them. You got to practice the questions if you ever get in front of these people. All right. And then our next strategy is announce. Now, this is one of my favorite strategies because I believe it is easily the most overlooked. The book describes this as announcing to others what our goals are. And why it's so important is that it gives other people the power to hold us accountable. I used to be a cigarette smoker. And when I quit, I could have easily not told anyone. And that way, if I fail, nobody knows I failed. But if I tell people, whenever I do, once I fail and smoke a cigarette at the smoke circles, now I also have to explain to everyone that I failed. That announcing creates social accountability. And then the last is denounce. Don't sweat the small stuff. Just don't. The small stuff, just don't sweat it. It's not worth it. It's not even worth talking about. Okay? And so now, how will I use these strategies to achieve my turning point? How do I achieve it? Well, I think the best way is to at least start. I haven't got it yet, so I just need to start, is to use announce and pounce. I'm going to tell people that I'm going to be a journalist, and I'm going to be asking people questions and getting to the bottom of why things are so bad. I'm going to go to the alderman, I'm going to go to the governor, I'm going to call my representative, whatever that means. And I'm going to be asking homeowners and renters, and I'm going to ask why. Why are things this bad? Why do they have to be this bad? And what are we going to do to fix them? And that's it. That's my plan. That's my goal. Thank you for listening.